man Jeffrey Madre, also known as Donkey Kong, has done an interview, and child, we about to watch it. This NYPD thing ain't going nowhere, child. Come on, Jeffrey. Come on, DK. Come on, Donkey Kong. What's up?
Now, a News 4 exclusive. Earlier, I sat down with the NYPD's former Chief of Department, Jeffrey Madre, 1 week after he abruptly quit in the face of graphic, salacious reports that he demanded sex from a subordinate in exchange for generous overtime pay and other perks. Those allegations coming from a member of his office, Lieutenant Quatisha Epps, who described him as a predator and demanded sex from her and other favors since he was elevated to Chief of Department. This is just the latest bombshell involving the upper ranks of the NYPD and Madre's first interview since the scandal surfaced. He says he wanted to share his side of the story.
And I just wanted to come out and just stand up for myself and tell everyone that these accusations are not true.
Well, let's get into a little bit and ask about the one that is making the most headlines. Did you force sexual favors from a subordinate, NYPD Lieutenant Quatisha Epps, starting in June 2023? She's a ranking officer. Did you force that in exchange for overtime approval and other perks signed off by you?
Absolutely not.
What happened here?
I think the key on what he said was signed off by you, where we saw at the live news conference with the lawyer with the receipts and the props that he don't sign off on overtime. So that question was a little wordy. We got to pay attention to the words. Now, he probably does say, you know, you can do overtime, but he ain't the one that signs anything. That's why I was like, when we listened to when I went over the other video and they was like, he don't sign, but that person signs. That person's going to be in trouble. It's like a couple other people. This is going to be big, y'all. I just think that there's going to be so much that comes out from this. But go ahead, y'all.
Me and Lieutenant Epps, we worked together. Starting in early 2022. We were working together for about a year and a half, and we were working together. One thing led to another. We had an office fling. And that's all it was an office fling.
Consensual relationship, you're saying?
Absolutely consensual.
How long did that last?
We had got together a couple of times. There was really nothing to it. There was no romance. We weren't girlfriend and boyfriend. We had an office fling, and that's all it was.
You're the Chief of Department. Some may look at that and say it may have been consensual, but you had far-reaching powers and this was a subordinate. Do you think that was appropriate?
It wasn't appropriate for me to be in a relationship with anyone.
Right.
And so let me be clear.
Good answer, DK. Good answer, because he is married. But outside of that, absolutely, you was wrong. You shouldn't be having sex with your subordinates. You got 33,000+ people to be worried about. And child, I don't even understand why. Jeff Donkey Kong, come on, buddy.
You're saying that you had a consensual relationship with Ms. Epps. And that she's essentially lying in this EEOC complaint. What do you think her motivation is to do this now?
Would you mind if I answered that? Because, you know,
come on, lawyer.
What happened here seems to be that Lieutenant Epps is under investigation internally by the NYPD since October. And the allegations are that not only was she putting in for excessive overtime, but that she was actually putting in for overtime that she had not completed or done, so that she was effectively stealing time. So
fraud.
When she put in her retirement papers, 2 days later, the NYPD suspended her. And they suspended her because of suspicion that she had committed a crime, which is stealing overtime from the NYPD.
It was abrupt.
Yes.
And some would say, well, if you didn't feel you did anything wrong, why did you leave so abruptly?
Well, there was a couple of things going on when I made the decision. I was already making a decision, and it was really weighing heavy on my mind. I was entering 35 years, almost completing 35 years of city service. I knew that I was going to have to fight, and I didn't want to have the constraints of the police department, being the chief of the department, holding me back from fighting properly for my innocence. When you're in the police department, I can't say certain things. I can't do certain things. I have to have the Chief Madre persona. When you talk about my work speaks for itself. driving down crime as the chief of department. All right, what I've done out there in the communities, what I've done in Brooklyn North.
All right, sir, calm down. Just calm down. All right. First of all, crime is not down. I don't care what you and Joe Biden have to say about that. Second of all, this is not about your title, what you have done. Well, kind of not about your title, what you have done in the ranks, blah, 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 blah. You can say all that, sir, but you basically were ready to toss it all away over a biatch. You can name all that all you want to, sir. You were ready to toss it for a biatch. Let's not overlook that part. You can talk about everything that you have done, all your accomplishments, and your accomplishments are your accomplishments, but you still couldn't not go for the punani, as Dr. Umar says. You still were lusting. You didn't think about your wife. You didn't think about your position. You didn't think about your ranking. You wasn't worried about them 33,000+ people. You was worried about your OPP at the end of the daggone day. And then you say that you weren't in a relationship, which I totally believe, okay? You get to be in some sort of power and you think that you can get anything done, do anything that you want to, and there are plenty of women who are willing to do so. People don't abide by the rules no more, y'all. Because back in the day, people knew their place and they abided by the rules. And when it was over, it was over. You don't go and take down the daggone family. You don't crash and burn everything to the ground just because you're not getting what it is that you think that you should get or you think that you should deserve. There ain't no rules no more. That's why you can't be playing these daggone games. So now your reputation is tarnished. You besmirched. All this mess. Now you got to go fight. You got to pay your lawyer. And shout out to the lawyer. Look like he doing the damn thing. All right. But was it worth it? You can downplay it. At the end of the day, I say it 55 million and one times. If you gonna mess around, do not mess around with people who have nothing to lose. You would have been better off dealing with someone who was, I don't know, he chief of department. There probably ain't nobody on his level, but it got to be somebody on some sort of a level that got a lot of money, that makes a lot of money, that got a lot of rank, that has a husband at home, and don't want to lose none of that, don't want to lose their livelihood, don't want to lose. You dealing with someone that ain't got shit, that worrying about losing a house, that's worried about losing this, can't afford shit, even though she a lieutenant, she had her health concerns, no shade there. She got kids, she's single. Come on now.
All right. I have given so much to the city, so much, and I've never asked anyone for anything in return. Countless people who can never repay me for what I've done for them. All right, and I've never looked for repayment, not even from the lieutenant. So for her to try and spin a story like this is very hurtful because I've given so much to the people of this city.
Sir, you sounded like a biatch a little bit right here. You're not accepting any accountability. Now, I'm not expecting them to say, yeah, I did that. I'm not expecting that clearly at all. However, you can't sit up here and act like you are holier than thou when you just admitted you was messing around with her. She was when you compare her story in life to you risked it all for a biatch. You risked it all for some OPP, sir. That's the bottom line. Come on now.
During our conversation and during a press conference today with select members of the media, the former chief and his lawyer claim they have evidence backing up their statements. The relationship with Lieutenant Epps was consensual, and they say it includes intimate text messages and images. We've reached out to Lieutenant Epps 3 times today. We've not heard back, but her legal team did respond to the Associated Press, saying Madry's lawyer's admission the former chief had a sexual relationship with Epps undercut a previous statement denying every aspect of the allegations. And, quote, we have a treasure trove of digital data that will hopefully bring this degenerate to justice. The NYPD also responded, saying they take allegations of sexual misconduct seriously and will thoroughly investigate.
Both of these people going now retired. She was going to get that $200,000 and slip on out of there with a higher retirement, thinking she was about to live high off the hog. So if y'all thought that she could, not y'all, if people think that she couldn't have it together before, you think she's going to be able to have it together now? She thought she was going to creep on up out of there. Now, if it comes to pass that she didn't pay off that house and get out of foreclosure and figure out how to handle her finances, she really going to be ruined after this. That's who he chose. Like y'all got to be paying attention when you about to do something like this with your life, okay? Because people are human at the end of the day, right? They're going to do what they're going to do. Listen, the biggest place that people have affairs is at the damn office because you spend so much time there prior to C-19. You spend more of your time probably with people at work than you do at daggone home. Everybody understand work life and home life and this, that, and the third. And things happen, okay? I'm going to just leave it at that. What I will say is that if you, again, are in a higher position and you dealing with people who got, it doesn't make sense. It's never made sense to me. And then you're going to deal with someone who already has financial issues and has kids and, got all these problems. Did you think that you could just get over on her or something? She got more in overtime than she did her own daggone salary. Now, we know that the NYPD has less police officers or whatever. But you're more than doubled your daggone income, and you already had a $200,000 income. And I understand that New York is an expensive place, but you already was making $200,000 and that wasn't enough. That tells me that she ain't good with money. She's mismanagement. She don't have no partner or anything like that. And she got kids. And she was about to be in bankruptcy or whatever. Because the medical bills, allegedly, because I know she was sick, could all be done under bankruptcy. You could get rid of all that under bankruptcy. Why wouldn't she do that? Get rid of all of it and move on, child. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But this is crazy and we're going to continue with it. But y'all make sure you let me know what you think. Make sure you comment, subscribe if you are new. I'll see you all in the next one.
Return to the Steelers and he'll play for free. Any thoughts on that?